Okay, here's the Sagat trailer. I'm not really planning on putting this reaction on YouTube because it's just Sagat. The only reason I would put this onto YouTube is if Sagat starts doing some crazy, super unexpected move, right? If he is able to shoot out 100 projectiles on screen all at once or something, then maybe I'll put it on YouTube, right? But I'm assuming he's just going to be doing normal Sagat stuff. So if that's the case, I just pretty much want to watch it on stream with you guys. But I would like to see all the animations and everything. Speaking of characters that should have been base roster, Sagat. I think Sagat is not a very exciting DLC character. And that's not to say that I dislike Sagat. In fact, I think Sagat, along with M. Bison, should always be a base roster character because he's such a mainstay of the series, right? He was in Street Fighter even before Street Fighter 2, you know? So it's kind of weird that Capcom doesn't think of Sagat as a mainstay. I think he should always be base roster, and then I would rather pay DLC characters for... I would rather pay for DLC of new characters, right? Like, Manon or Marissa, you could have had Sagat in the base roster replace Manon or Marissa, and then had Manon or Marissa be a DLC character in Sagat's place, and I think that would have been so much better. Because I'd rather pay money for a character I've never played before, instead of paying money for a character I've played a ton of. Not that I've ever really played Sagat, but you get my point. You think this could be a YouTube post? You've seen it, but maybe you're wrong. Okay, let's see if it's cool enough. Let's see if it's crazy enough. The stage looks awesome.
And then became one of the grand masters of an international terrorist organization, the Emperor Sagat.
Yeah, so for anybody that doesn't know, this stage has been Sagat's stage since the very first Street Fighter game. And it is a real place in Thailand, hence why it is Sagat's stage. But I think it's very funny how fantastical it's gotten, because this seems like an extremely fantastical version of this place from real life, right? But I kind of like that, because we've seen this stage so much. It looks really cool seeing this stage turned into what looks like a Monster Hunter environment in terms of the scale and the wind and the atmosphere, you know? Imagine if they announced Cyber Akuma. Now that would be worth buying. Yeah, as somebody that doesn't really play Sagat, most of this is going to look like normal Sagat stuff. But of course, if you're somebody that actually plays Sagat, then you would probably be noticing a lot more nuanced differences than me. So I'm watching this very much from kind of an outsider perspective of Sagat. Was that just... Is the frame data of that kick perfectly adjusted to land a grab immediately after? Right, how long are, how fast are throws in Street Fighter 6? Are they 5 frames? This looks like it might be, if throws are 5 frames startup, then this looks like it might be +5, specifically for strike throw mix afterwards right there. It looks like Ryu didn't even have time to do, you know, to do a DP there, even though I know obviously he does, if he buffered it. Have we seen if he still has the high and low projectile? That's the low projectile, right? Yeah, that's going to beat it. Yep, okay. Oh, that looked like, yeah, that's his high projectile, so he does have the high and low. Wow, did that hop? Does that normally hop over projectiles like that? I don't know. See, this is where my ignorance is coming in of just not really ever playing Sagat much. But yeah, that's going pretty clear over Ryu's projectile. I wonder how that move looks out of Drive Rush. Dude, I bet you could zip across the screen so fast if you do that out of Drive Rush. Now they should make a small character where high fireball can't hit them. Yeah. Dude. Morrigan in TVC, when she crouches, I can't hit her with my overhead. Wow, he gets a wall bounce. That high in the air, that's cool. That's new, right? I don't think I've ever seen a Sagat do that. Is that from his DP? What motion is Tiger Uppercut? I've literally never actually played Sagat. I just my experience with Sagat is fighting him, but never playing him. Yeah, he's doing Tiger Uppercut, and he didn't even meter burn it or anything. It just goes into the wall bounce. What the heck? Is that an overhead? Might be like a target combo. Oh no, it might be a Rekka, right? So it looks as if he has an overhead option after knee. Or he could also do that, I guess, if he hit confirms it. Probably DP and kick. Yeah, that's what I would assume, but I don't want to look stupid. I don't want to lose all my Street Fighter cred. Zangief potato chips? Was this bootleg? Zangief. There's the classic costume. Oh, look, he gets Oki off that with knee. Man, if only Zangief's knee let him go that far so he could get Oki off of SBD without having to use Drive Rush. Yeah, look, dude, look, he gets Oki after launching him that far away. That's insane. What the heck? Oh, imagine if Zangief could do that. What animation was that for? Oh, that's his super, okay. Let's cross up. Camera work on that's pretty cool. I'm so grappler coded though that I expected after he put him in the guillotine there, he was going to do the I forget the name of the move, but you put them in the guillotine and then you basically just fall backwards and slam their head down. You know that move? I was half expecting him to do that, but that's just because I'm so grappler brained. Dude, hold on. Are there different versions of this super when you put them in clinch? Right, he's put him in clinch multiple times. Is this the same super as earlier? See? You put him in clinch again. Maybe his supers just all kind of start with the same animations. But, I need to go back and count the supers. Dude, imagine if Sagat was doing all of this in base roster. I think that would have made the base roster so much better. Level 3. Okay, let me count the supers here. You've seen 3 supers so far. Maybe I'm just losing track since I'm losing my mind. But it's the fact that they all started from clinch. It's making me wonder if he has some kind of weird mechanic, but probably not. Speeding through it so that way I won't forget the last super I saw when I get to the one after it. Clinch is just something you do a lot in Muay Thai, so that's why he's doing it a lot. So he has the projectile super. Do we think that's level 1 or 2? That's probably level 2, right? I'm excited to see the wall splat combos because wall splatting doesn't usually, you don't usually see that very often in Street Fighter. Obviously Marissa has a lot of wall splats, but she was kind of the anomaly in being a wall splat character. Ryu has some wall splat combos, but again, not super common in Street Fighter. Okay, this might be his level 1, right? The level 1, it's the knee into clinch, and then he knees them and kicks him. Is that part of the same super? Yeah. Is that the same super flash animation? So knee into clinch, we just saw that already, but now he's doing something different. He didn't do that. He didn't punch them on the top of the head like that before, or did he elbow him, or no, yeah, elbowed him on top of the head. Wait, did he punch and elbow? Oh, elbow, okay, that makes more sense for Muay Thai. Punching on the head would be kind of goofy at that close of a range. So that was the third super we saw, right? Knee into clinch. That's different. See, he puts him into clinch, and then he knees him and puts him in a guillotine. And knees him again. And side switches. So do we think that he's able to input something to get different versions of the super? Like if you want to side switch the opponent? Knee, clinch. We haven't seen that animation yet. That lets him combo off of it. Yeah, he has more than 3 supers. Or at least one of these supers lets you do things out of clinch. Maybe it depends on if you use punch or kick. That's new, right? Right, maybe Sagat had something like that before, but I never knew about it. Yeah, that's really cool if that's the case. See, that's how you make a character that's kind of dry, like Sagat, and you make him interesting. Just like how with M. Bison is kind of a dry character. When you hear that he's coming back, you think, okay, he's just going to be regular Bison, right? But then they gave him the Psycho Mine, so it's a little bit of extra sauce without taking away from what makes Bison Bison. You give Sagat these extra things he can do out of a clinch super. He has extra sauce, but he's still doing the same old Sagat stuff that Sagat players would like doing, right? With the, you know, really big buttons and the high and low fireball zoning. Yeah, that's cool. The supers were definitely more than what I was expecting. Makes me really excited to see what they're doing with the other 3. Choose the variation to suit the combo you want to do. It's probably going to come down to either some kind of input you have to press when you have them in clinch, or maybe you can like press different buttons when you do the input. I highly doubt Street Fighter would have a variation system like Mortal Kombat in which you pick it at character select. But I know that's not what you meant, but when you say variation, that's what I think of. Maybe it depends on if you use punch or kick. But we saw more than 2 different things from clinch. It wasn't just one thing or the other. We saw like 3 or 4 different things you could do from clinch. So it really makes me think if like maybe, you know, maybe you do a different motion and put, because when he puts them in clinch, there's a little bit of a pause. Did you notice? He puts them in clinch and then there's a little bit of a window. Maybe that's the window in which they let the player do some kind of input. That's cool.